Yeah, so she did all that, and then she completely changed her
Okay, I think
style.
we should start by saying hello to all the people now that I've hit record.
Yes, hello to
All right,
all of.
so we're in the middle of a conversation right now about a very interesting story that you wrote called Shattered Sight. All right.
Yes.
Maybe you can go back to the beginning of what you said, because you know what? It's hard for me to understand too.
Oh, right.
So you said you were adding on to the original.
Oh, right. So my original character in that, her name is Serena, and I was just basically adding more onto her backstory and why she became who she was in the story. So I said that
maybe we should add this story to your website and then have that be posted.
I'm in the middle of rewriting that. So
maybe have the original one on your website, and then
the original one.
Yeah, and then maybe make a follow-up version or something. The original one is good. Not the cut down one, the original one.
Yeah, because I had to cut down.
Yeah, no, I don't mean the cut down one. Don't worry.
The word counts for writing contests, I don't like those. I don't like.
Yeah, me neither.
A word limit or a page limit, but at least with a page limit, you don't have a word limit. It's just like 10 pages. Like Unlocked Fury. That was. I had a page limit of like 7 pages for that, but afterwards I was just like, I'm gonna make it super long because I can. Oh, here I found the original. The not cut out one. Yeah, the 3,557 word one. Now that I realize that's actually not a lot of words because yeah. So I changed a lot. In the original story, she would wear a purple like winter coat. Mm-hmm. But then I changed it to a light denim jacket instead because I don't know, it was just easier to draw. And the colors didn't like clash too much. And then I gave her a reason for dyeing her hair instead of just having, oh, look, she has blue hair. Yay. I don't know. I don't know.
No, you're telling me more about
the acting school and stuff.
Yeah. Talk about that.
So basically I decided that as part of her backstory, she was a acting school graduate and she was gonna have a very promising and successful career, but then because of an accident she couldn't do that. So then she basically completely changed her entire appearance, the way she talked, how she walked, even her style of clothing. She wore contacts to hide her eye color. She dyed her hair, and she used like those, I don't know, liquid latex special effects face pieces that you can find in Halloween stores to change her face shape. And then anything else she would just cover up with makeup. And yeah, so I'm in the middle of rewriting Shattered Sight, but I might post the original on my website.
Yeah, post the original.
Just to have a comparison. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You could label it that it's the original one.
Yeah, I have it in Google Docs. I labeled it as the original from 2018. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's like 3 years ago.
Basically, yeah. So long.
I know. My writing has like improved so much. See, like back then I thought, being in the mid-20s was like, you're an adult, but like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. When are we ever actually gonna become adults?
Never. I still behave like a child.
Yep.
So much.
Yes. One thing I really liked about the original Shattered Side version from 2018 is that most of the story was in the form of a blog post.
Yeah.
And it was posted by anonymous user because from the perspective of the character that I was writing from, I didn't come up with a name for her. I only had the name for the antagonist, I guess. Yeah. So I just wrote anonymous user. Yeah. Also, spoiler alert, they all die in the end, but like that happens in a lot of my stories.
I think that just happens in a lot of stories in general.
That's true. But like, no use of cyanide.
Surprisingly, but that's because this was before your cyanide phase.
Yeah. But I did joke a lot about cyanide with my friends. Like, we would joke about it. A lot.
Yeah.
So.
That's because that's when we're learning about chemistry.
That's true. But then that was before I knew, like, all these different facts about it.
It's so interesting. You don't realize how little you understand about the chemistry in grade, like, those younger grades until you go to the higher grades and like, oh, you get to learn all the cool stuff, like electron orbital shells and acid-base pairings, which is what you're interested in.
Acid-base pairing, just acid-base chemistry in general is so fun. It's like probably the only thing I can consistently do really, really well. Yeah.
I love chemistry. I want to take more chemistry classes.
Oh,
maybe not for the same reason you want to take more chemistry classes.
I kind of want to do like sociology or psychology for writing purposes. Yes.
Yes. You know, I'm glad we captured this conversation where...
Yeah. Maybe like psychology. I think psychology is interesting. For writing. So, all for writing.
You know, these seem like some of these do seem like useful fields in general, but for you, I can see just for writing.
I mean, honestly, some of the skills I learned, I'm sure would be very useful in real life if I were to take those classes, which I'm not. I'm not taking those right now, but it would be useful. For example, to know if people are manipulating you. Like, if you know the signs and you're able to spot it. That's just an example. It's an oddly specific one.
It's very oddly specific, isn't it?
Well, I've done some research on that because for my
unlocked
story...
theory.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, with Unlocked Fury, a lot of the stuff I say are like, I'm like, oh, I headcanon this one character to do this. But then as the author, I could be like, that's canon. But then for now, it's only a headcanon. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'm glad we created such a big discussion out of Shattered Sight. My discussion topic I was going to bring to the table is the boba I showed you. Disgusting boba. Why don't we do a segment right here talking about you correcting my boba making? So it was late at night the other night, and I just was like, man, I just want boba. And I just finished arguing this conversation with my parents about like, well, you know what? If we want to eat healthy, you know, I've already trained my taste buds to be able to eat salad without dressing and eat sushi without soy sauce, right? And you know what? Those actually are very healthy options.
And they taste...
And then I was like, okay. So it was the middle of the night. Everyone else was asleep. And I was like, what if I made boba without sugar? Or of any flavoring? And I thought to myself, my first thought to myself was, that's a terrible idea. I've never even made boba in general.
And that was very evident in the picture you sent me.
I watched my mom do it. And she does it pretty good. I've never made it myself. But anyway, I was like, okay. So I took the vacuum sealed boba pack. Like, I found that in the pantry. I was like, cool. And I read the instructions. It's just like, okay, put it in. Make sure you put it in boiling water that's still boiling, and then leave it there for like half an hour. And then I can't remember what else it said. Like, let it cool for like half an hour or something like that. Right. And then serve. Actually, I think it's way more complicated than that. That's all my small brain can remember. But like, okay, so I've never actually said the whole story, but you're probably going to be very angry when I say this, which is I put the boba in the pot first, and then poured the water on top of it.
That's stupid. You don't do that. You're gonna disintegrate them, which is exactly what happened.
Exactly what happened. I disintegrated all the boba, and.
But then in the picture where you finished the milk tea, it didn't look too bad.
Yeah, and you know what? I have the picture of it sitting in the strainer as well. Then I kind of went off and I went to go like edit another video. Like, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I was like, okay, I was like, oh, that's another thing. I left it unattended. I just put the water on top of the boba and then put it in the stove. And I'm like, okay, I'll come back in half an hour. And maybe my small brain was like, okay, but maybe I should make sure it's not bubbling because then that might burn it. And then my mom said to me the next morning, no, you're supposed to leave it bubbling because then the bubbles help it to like keep its shape and help to keep it from sticking together in its big disintegrated mess. And I'm like, oh, that's why you're supposed to boil it first. And then that's what you said too when you texted me back as well.
And it would help if you stir it because that would really make sure that it stick together. Also, you said like bubble tea without sugar. Like if it's just a milk tea without sugar, like that's probably okay. But with boba, I've had unflavored boba before. You need like at least a little bit.
It was disgusting. Okay, let me give the spoiler alert there. Well, okay, it's edible. I actually didn't mind it at first, but the longer we went on, I think the more the boba. I'm getting ahead of the story, but I think the more it's starting to taste like water. I think like water flavored boba is not. It's not. No, I may as well have like. It's not like vanilla ice cream. Where vanilla, of course, is its own flavor. It's literally like better analogy is yogurt. It's like plain yogurt. Plain yogurt's edible, but you then. Most of the time, you're left wishing that there was stuff in it. In fact, I feel like the main reason for plain yogurt is to put stuff in it, right?
Yeah.
So I think the same for plain boba. You're supposed to put stuff in it. And I was like, no. Okay, I got ahead of myself because then I went back to check it. And like 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, it's this goop. Actually, I went to check it once it started bubbling. So I'm like, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be bubbling. Which I think is getting everyone face palm. Now that I've been corrected in my ways of how to make boba, and it was so sticky. It was stuck together. I was like, "What is this goop?" I was like, "Wait, where's my boba?" And I was like, oh, it is the goop. So it's been completely like disintegrated. I would say disintegration implies though that it disappeared, when in reality it was right there. It's this giant blob.
It melted.
And you know what my brain said later? You know, let's call it marshmallows. Maybe I should put this on crackers with chocolate. Like s'mores. I didn't do that. I kind of knocked my senses back. I don't know what I was thinking the other night. It was just, I kind of knocked myself back into senses. Like, what am I doing? I'm not going to put this on crackers. It's wet and it's kind of weird too. And I ended up straining it and then And then I tried to do the thing like on Instagram videos, like on Reels I see, where they pour in the tea and it's like all nice, and then they pour in the milk and it makes like this whole cloud of milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part wasn't too bad, but that was mostly the milk and the tea. And then I tried the boba, and then I told you, because the whole time I was texting you, I was like, I don't think I'm doing this right. And then you texted me back like, no, you're not doing this right? Right? And then...
And then it's like instructions on how to make it.
But it was already too late because I only texted you after it was done.
Yeah.
But thank you. I now know what to do for next time if there is a next time.
Yeah. I mean, usually in the vacuum seal packs, they come in like a pretty big bag.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have some in a cupboard. So,
yeah.
You know, really funny. You texted me about the boba, and then the next day I was like, I want boba. Except unlike yours, mine didn't disintegrate.
I think I'm just gonna stick to going to buy boba at the store, or wait for my mom to do it.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
Once you're used to it.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long to make, and in the span of 1 hour, you could just honestly watch a movie while you just stir it and then you watch a movie.
I was editing a video, so I think I could do that during the time too. Like
if you have the computer beside the stove, obviously water on it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not get water on that.
Oh no, that's a really bad idea.
Maybe that's the next thing Annalise makes is she starts a boba store after and puts makes apple flavored boba.
She sells the boba.
Yeah.
What was she?
Apple pearls.
Apple flavored?
Yeah. I've seen videos of like fruit flavored tapioca pearls. I feel like she could make cyanide. Sorry, apple. This is your fault. I never used to be like this. And now thanks to you, you've made it so the words apple and cyanide are now interchangeable, and I hate it.
I mean,
they're not. They're literally not. But
no.
Like I've talked to you too much now. Now apple and cyanide are the same thing.
It's just a cyanide. She should open a boba store. I don't know, because like macarons, macarons is like her thing. So maybe like boba could be like a special.
Maybe someone was inspired by her work and decided to do the same thing with boba.
A copycat killer, and then she's like sitting in jail. Like,
no,
I came up with this idea first.
Yeah.
I copyrighted this method. It's mine, but like compensate me. Imagine she'll probably do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like for now with her, she's just chilling. She's like
in jail.
She's turned herself in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't need to do this anymore. Because the person who caused her all of this like stress and anxiety is finally gone. So she's like, oh my god, I'm free. And then she's like, hey,
now I should repent for my crimes. But but she doesn't actually feel. Does she feel remorseful?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Because in a way, everyone she's like dealt with has done something bad after she got to know them, of course, and they were like,
right.
What's
I'm still questioning the fact that is this story supposed to highlight how she blew things out of proportion, or how the other people blew things out of proportion?
I mean, both parties, honestly.
Okay.
Because, I personally sympathize with her more. That sounds really wrong to say, but
she's your character.
That's true. And, I understand how she felt in the situation and why she felt like that was what she had to do in order to get the situation to just stop. So, I understand why she thought that.
But you being you, the writer, and not putting yourself in the shoes of the character, would you say that what she did was out of proportion?
Yeah, I mean, she didn't have to do that.
Okay. Just double checking.
Like, she didn't have to do that. Honestly, with the other character, he didn't need to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they both just said, like, hey, maybe if we just, you know, really talked and, like, sorted the situation out peacefully, then this wouldn't have happened. So there were, like,
technically it was peaceful before anything happened, but yeah.
More like if he had like understood the message first,
mm-hmm.
then it wouldn't have it's like the butterfly effect. It wouldn't have like.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
So it really all stemmed from that one person, and then she's just like, ugh. Yeah.
Why did it take her so long to go after the first person? Like,
because she didn't want to like meet or like look at the first person. She didn't want to like deal with him because she's still trying to wrap her head around the situation, like trying to just get away and hope that he would forget.
mm-hmm.
And then she wouldn't have to see him again. But then obviously things didn't work out that way.
Right. Yeah, no, so that's why she went over after the other targets first.
Yeah.
Almost to like put her mind off of it by committing more crimes.
Yeah. And like I watch too much true crime, but like,
yeah, I can tell because I don't think I would be able to write a story like this because I can't get my brain into that mindset. You've seen me try to get my brain into like that. I can't. I think I'm just like too like pure. Like I like with the ways of the world. It's like, yeah. I find the story so fascinates me so much because I don't think I could write something like it. I
mean, like with you, some of the stories you write, I probably couldn't write.
Mm-hmm. Because the characters I write about are too nice.
Yeah. Well, that, like, I don't know, you're better at a lot of the emotional elements of writing.
Mm-hmm.
Except for sad scenes. Apparently I can do that really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you said the ending of Unlocked Fury made you, like, cry, and, like, I should stop with the sadness.
Wait, when did I say that?
When you read Draft 6 and you're like, no, stop it, I'm crying, I don't need the feels.
Oh, Draft 6. Okay, so not the most recent. Because I was like, no one died in the most recent one.
No one died in the most recent one.
It's funny you mentioned that because as when we're recording this, like last night I was playing a game and I recorded myself playing the game. The video will go up like in a while. But the point is, I totally like started like bawling my eyes, like crying because of a character death.
No.
And it was so sad for me. And the thing is, I don't think it would make you sad the same way. But it's so easy to make me like emotionally upset.
I didn't. I'm alive. Emotionally, I died when I watched Stoic's death. That part in How to Train Dragon 2, yes. And you saw me when I watched How to Train Dragon.
Oh yeah, we went to the theater to watch How to Train Dragon 3. And at the end, I was like, oh, that's a good movie. And then I look over at you, and then I was like, oh, you're actually crying. You had tears streaming down your face.
And I was like, just shoving popcorn into my mouth because I want to like disturb the rest of the theater. And then like some of our other friends were also there, and they're like, oh my god, is she crying? Are you okay? I'm like, no.
At the end, it was happy ending though. They just this family to get the dragons. Happy. Yeah.
You know what really got me? Like at the end, after, you know, end of Once There Were Dragons, like they showed the How to Train Dragon: The Hidden World, like the title, and then immediately it jumped into Together from Afar, and I was just like, no, you cannot do this to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've heard the song before I watched the movie because it was released, but then I watched the lyrics video, so I didn't get any spoilers for the movie. and it did not prepare me for how I would actually feel. But like now I can watch it without crying. It's like, I don't know. Should we talk about Seabound? Seabound? The ending of Seabound. It's like that.
I have one video up on my channel about the ending of Seabound.
The ending of Seabound is like...
You know, I gotta make a note of things I need to edit in here. Okay, I need to put in the boba, the Seabound video. It autocorrects as seaboard. I don't know what that means. Before we talk about Seabound, what is it? Delicious lies, bitter. And then I'm just typing random. I'll show you this later. And then, oh, what else? I'm already losing track. Oh, Shattered Sight.
Oh, I can send you a picture of my OC.
Oh, okay. All right, and then the OC.
Yeah.
Editing notes. All right, let's talk about Seabound. Why don't we?
Seabound. Okay, first of all, I don't know if this is relevant, but it's kind of like an inside joke between me and my siblings. Lloyd wears a rice hat at the beginning of the thing.
I totally forgot there was a beginning to the season.
Lloyd wears a rice hat. Yeah. I will also send you a picture of that because I took a screenshot.
Alright.
You just type rice hat Lloyd.
Seabound. Alright, and then it keeps autocorrecting to seaboard, whatever. Lloyd. Okay. I wrote autocorrect to cloud because I put a U instead of a Y. Lloyd. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna. Okay, Lloyd rice hat. Alright. Okay, I'll try to be quieter as I take notes now.
It's okay, like the commentary is interesting.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, the beginning was like the Venge Stone, they're like, oh my god, who's the buyer? And then Nia's power is just like...
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to her powers, and then...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on, and then she's just walking around in the monastery, and then everything, like all the taps and stuff are exploding.
Right. Are we describing the plot, or are we describing our thoughts about the plot?
Yeah. And then, what? Honestly, I thought it was interesting. I thought the villain was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was his motive? Was his motive just power?
Just
I feel
power.
like his motive
So a lot of the early, let's look, a lot of the early Ninjago villains, and just Ninjago villains in general, their motive is power, or strength, or world domination. Okay, you could probably, let's name all the ones who aren't looking for that. Okay, Harumi is not looking for that, right?
She wants revenge.
She wants revenge.
Neither does
Aspira is looking for revenge.
Moro just wants to be the Green Ninja.
Yeah, Moro just wants to be the Green Ninja.
I'm biased, but that's what I'm saying.
What else?
Right.
What did Nadakon want? I've only ever seen Skybound once.
I don't know, Nadakon just...
Does he just wants to save his home, or is he just like... Because he's a pirate, but like, why does he like want to hurt everyone, not just like...
He wants unlimited wishes, which is like power.
Alright, so power, okay. And then what else? The Oni, they want power. Garmadon was basically possessed by his rage, wanting for power.
Yeah.
What is his face?
Time
Pythor.
What about the Time Twins?
Yeah, they want power.
They do?
Yeah, they want it. They control time, control everything, right?
Yeah, but then I feel like that's their motto. But then also,
Well, what does control everything mean?
Control everything, but
it's
then
power.
Also, like Crux is like, we don't want Ninjago to be like all techie and all that, and then Acronix is like, look at my new board pad.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right, but what they ultimately want is power.
They want power, yeah. They're the dragon machine thing they have is pretty cool though.
Yeah, that's true. Pythor wants. Well, he wants power. He also wants to get out of the cavern that Lloyd found him in, or whatever.
kind of wants revenge against the people who put him there.
Yeah.
But also power. Power's like a bonus for him.
But also power. What else? The Cryptor. He wants power.
He does? Because I feel that season it was just like the Overlord, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who wants power?
That's true.
Cryptor was especially sexist, too.
I didn't like him. He was really mean.
He was really mean.
Master Chen.
Yeah, guess what he wants? Does he want power? No, he wants to turn
Master Chen Noodle House the #1 noodle house.
He wants to turn his cult into snakes.
Undefeatable snakes.
But that just seems like such a dumb use of power to me.
He could have used.
He could have taken the staff and made themselves like dragons.
Oh, that's true.
Instead, they became snakes.
Purple snakes.
Purple snakes. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I remember they needed the Pythor blood. But then why? But they also would have had access to like other sources of things besides like Pythors. Like what? What? What did they use to? What did they use to turn themselves into snakes?
They stuck him in a cage.
And they made him run on a hamster wheel, right?
Yeah, but then he ended up befriending the rat and saved the world basically. At the end of the season.
I don't remember much of what happened. All I remember is that I thought to myself, really, you went to all the trouble to gather up all the elements just to turn you and your followers into snakes? Because I feel that almost feels like a waste of power.
If he did that and then he summoned the dead generals and managed to convince them to join his side and use their power to turn them into like the cult into the Anaconda, then I feel like that would have been more interesting. But
yeah,
I don't know. But so Moro and Harumi and Asphere are the only ones who didn't want power. They just want revenge, or in Moro's case, to be the Green Ninja.
Well, the thing about it, Unagami just wants to live, basically.
Unagami wants to live, yeah.
Alright, so that's not. But you need to get all the power to live.
But power wasn't his ultimate goal. It was to like escape the game.
Yeah.
What about Vangelis?
Oh yeah, that dude wants power.
Yeah.
Who else?
The island? What happened in the island?
What happened? I don't remember. Oh, there was a Zippy. He's not the bad guy.
I watched it in French.
Oh, it was Ronin.
Ronin.
Yeah.
He made the fake Wojiro.
Yeah.
And then basically caused the tribe to like starve and suffer.
Yeah.
I remember Lloyd had a headband in that one, and he was playing fetch with the dragon.
Yeah, so cute.
Oh my god. But then he used the dragon to like sneak onto the base, which I'm just like, that is really smart actually.
Oh, I forgot. Sensei Yang. What did he want? He just wanted Air Jitsu to be the coolest thing to ever live.
Well, he
would never be forgotten.
He wanted to break free of the curse that
he didn't want to be forgotten. The whole curse thing he started because wait, why is it curse? Because he wants to preserve himself, right?
Yeah, he wants to be immortal, but then his thing like just failed, and then he cursed everyone. So then he used coal to like he made everyone forget coal until Moro's like, hey, I know you guys hate me, but you forgot someone, so you should probably look at that. And
then Moro didn't go through the portal.
He could have.
No. He could have. You could have, and then all your fan fictions about him joining the ninja team and making the commercial could have been true. I know that. Well, look, if Skybound got erased, then you assume that they still would have had a little phase where they were doing commercials and stuff, right? Then Data Departed happens. Then we save Moro, and then the second Wind commercial could have still happened canonically in Ninjago, but no.
Whoa, what big brain thinking.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I totally diverted our topic when we're talking about Skybound. That's Seabound.
Seabound.
And then the next one they should go on a mountain, do some skiing, ski down the mountain to see if they can get back to Ninjago City. And Skibound.
Oh, look at that. The cyanide incident. I counted. This was like the 10th version I wrote.
Have you ever referred to the cyanide incident like on Unlocked Fury, like in the story or on social media, or is this just like a draft name right now? For now,
it was a thing.
It's a thing, draft. And it's kind of important. Well, it's not in the story yet, but what I want to get at here is that, as far as I can tell, there's no longer any cyanide involved in the cyanide incident.
No, that's just how I refer to it.
It's just the name.
I don't even know what to call it. In the original, there is cyanide involved. That's why I called it a cyanide incident.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, you know what? If I say the cyanide incident, you know what it is. Everyone knows what it is. Well, everyone who I've talked to about my story, who knows about the cyanide incident, would know what it is.
Yeah, there's because there's so many people who know what the cyanide incident is.
Which is just you and my siblings, so that's like 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's more than 2 people.
More?
That's 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3.
There.
I can't, yeah. So, but this one is actually one that is good, one I think could work with the rest of the story, but it might just be like like a spin.
So we might bring it back in the basically sequel.
Yeah.
Whoa, we're gonna bring the cyanide incident back. I've been waiting so long to get the cyanide incident back.
I can't tell if you're being like, you sound really sarcastic.
Well, I don't know. There's been so many iterations of the cyanide incident. I don't even know if it's something to be looking forward to anymore or not. It's changed so much. I don't know.
There's good food mentioned.
Oh yeah, there's good food in it. That's never changed.
There's good food, so and yeah, good food.
Food. What kind of food is there?
I don't know, like hors d'oeuvres, fancy stuff.
Yeah, fancy stuff.
I don't know what they...
That's a good... Alright, if anyone's watching this, leave in the comments below what kind of...
good food.
What kind of...
I mean, I went to this really fancy wedding once at a manor, and then they had this really good, like... I don't know, I think like steak with like peanut sauce, or was it chicken and peanut sauce? I don't know, but it was so good. I'm just imagining something like that, and now I want it. Now I'm craving that, but I literally haven't had it in like 10 years, so...
I think they would have brownies at the cyanide incident.
Brownies?
Yeah. Okay, what other fancy finger food they have?
Oh,
there'd be a chocolate fountain.
A chocolate fountain.
I know that this is supposed to be like fantasy medieval times, but like,
they can have chocolate.
They can have chocolate fountains.
Everyone should have a.
Everyone should have a chocolate fountain.
Yes. Okay, there is a chocolate fountain, but then there's also like
You have fruits too. You just stuff you dip in the chocolate fountain.
Yeah. There's a lot of. I don't know. I mentioned like pomegranates, but that's just because I like pomegranates. So I'm like, oh, pomegranates, yay! I'm sure there will be like, I don't know, strawberries. That's a staple when you're dipping stuff into the chocolate fountain.
What kind of savories would they have?
I don't know. I'm not a chef. I don't know.
Apple pie.
Macarons?
What are we doing?
Plot twist.
See, out of context, it's like that shouldn't make people laugh, but it does.
Plot twist: Annalise is the caterer,
and she's gonna do a wonderful job
because there's nobody she hates there, because she doesn't know of anybody.
Yeah, she got sucked back in time. Now she's not in the modern universe anymore.
And they're all like, "Who are you? We don't know you, but you have good food, so you're hired."
How does she survive on do they have a stove? A oven?
Yeah.
But like a gas stove or oven or like electric, or no, it's all like fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything about baking, so maybe that's
then she can be like, there's gonna be like the smoky flavor if she like was cooking a savory dish, and then people will be like, oh my god, the smoky flavor. I don't know how food critics describe the food, but then apparently the infused aroma in the food is like a big deal. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell I'm very well versed in this subject?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Because this knowledge is gonna serve really well in the real world out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the cyanide incident for now. I realized we didn't really talk a lot about what happened, but things happened.
I don't know what happens in it this time around. You've had very different things happen in the cyanide incident.
That's true.
I'm pretty sure only the first iteration I've ever seen had cyanide in it. Every single one I've seen since is like, no, it's just the name. The name carried over, but there's no cyanide anymore.
I just completely
and there's no death
changed
anymore
it.
either. It's just like, it's just. Is there even an incident?
Huh?
Is there even an incident?
No, that's what I call it.
I know. So I just think that's how far away you've diverged from the original cyanide incident. There's no more cyanide or incident.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm just working on this kind of a alternate universe thing for Unlocked Fury.
Mm-hmm.
It's inspired by this, I don't know, this episode of Sonic Boom. It's called The Biggest Fan, and basically the characters have to deal with someone who claims to be their biggest fan. Yeah. I haven't actually gotten to the fan part yet because I'm just writing the build-up. I mean, a lot of things happen. I don't even know. It's like the whole episode, I've seen it. It's like, I was really confused, but then it was also really funny. So.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and I started reading Creepypasta again.
I've noticed.
Yeah. I wrote out some like character studies, just trying to really, I don't know, understand the personalities of the characters. Although with some of them it's hard because the backstories and the creators, they don't really provide a lot of information, so a lot of it I have to just see what would work and what wouldn't. Well, the first one I wrote, I titled it, I Have an Idea and I'm Laughing, which usually that's not a good sign. That's
not a good title either. That's not very descriptive of what happens when you need to find it later.
Well, it was a character study for Eyeless Jack, and he basically got sacrificed by a cult.
Yeah. This is what the show is all about.
Yeah, we just talk about random stuff.
I realize you talk about a lot about your stories. I realize I haven't shared that many of my stories that I write, but I have a lot of things on my computer.
Oh, you should talk about some of your stories. I mean, the ones you've shown me.
One day. Look, okay.
What about the one with the...
I have some, like, on my YouTube channel. I have, like, that Fire Emblem Fates mini story series. Look, one day...
Row in the Radish.
Oh, and yeah, and also that's not... That I didn't write that, though. I stole that from the game, and then I put moral and Lloyd on it. But it's funny.
I drew the radish.
Yeah, you drew the radish.
I did the radish.
You did the radish. It's perfect. Yeah, one day you'll... I'm sure you'll get to meet my OCs. It's just like...
I've met one of them.
You've met one of them.
You've met like four of mine.
You've actually met a couple of them. I just don't know if you realize yet. But anyway.
I have?
I think this is like we're talking about this too early on in the timeline. This is one of those things that's like that gets revealed like 5 years later.
Oh, I see. Okay.
In terms of our second win show, that is. The story arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never went back to talking about Seabound, didn't we? I think you were just gonna say that we were depressed about what happened to Nia.
It was very depressing. Also, I mean, I thought if Ninjago was to end there, I think I personally would have been fine with it because
And at the Seabound?
The ending.
You would have been okay with it ending at Seabound?
I said if they decided to not air any more episodes.
I know, but you would be okay with that? I wouldn't.
I mean, I would be sad because Neo is gone and then, like, everyone's just depressed now.
I know, it feels such an unsatisfying ending. I feel like if they wanted to stop Ninjago, they would have had to stop a few seasons back. Like, back at season 10 or something. When it would have made sense. Now they've gone down this route, I think they need to follow through with it more in order...
Especially when they keep bringing up the Vengestone buyer.
Yeah.
Like, we need to know who that is.
Yep.
I haven't.
It's Moro.
It's actually Moro. Oh, but what if?
See, we had predictions at the beginning, right after, because I remember I was busy with something. For Seabound, and you couldn't talk to me about it. And then when I did finally watch the ending, then you just started telling me everything. And then we just started talking about Seabound for days, right? Well, I remember one theory we had is that the next season will be a Moro season.
It's not.
It's not, literally not, but, like, what if?
His voice actor is playing Cole now, so
that doesn't mean he can't come back. I mean...
that is true. I wonder how he's gonna, like... I don't know, but I wonder what he's gonna do with, like... Cole's character. I mean, like, I know Kirby Morrow did an amazing job of it, and Andrew Francis did an amazing job playing Morrow as well.
Yes.
So I just want to see what is gonna happen.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad.
Seasons.
Yeah, I'm glad that there's still more Ninjago content. Anyway, for Morrow coming back, I think our theory was like when he died, he turned into like the wind or something like that, and so something about, well, okay, at the beginning of Seabound, they're like, okay, there's two elements that were outside of the first Fujitsu Master's control, because water and wind. What about time? Right? Time. Right? Because I assume they're saying that because people pointed it out about the Tournament of Elements, that there was no water and wind, right?
Yeah.
So... that's my guess as to why specifically water and wind are the ones commanded by Wojira. Well, what if something about Wojira's power brought Moro back, and then he's like, hey, you know, I was like an elemental spirit, and Nia's also an elemental spirit, maybe we can turn her back too, or something. And what if... Yeah. Okay, but what also if... A completely separate theory, what if he is the Vengestone buyer? That's like picking lottery numbers.
It's like, but why would he buy Vengestone though? If he technically like chose to apologize to Sensei Wu and like basically try to make amends for his mistake, like why would he do that? Why would he just pretend that didn't exist? Like that's pointless, because if he really was genuine in Day of the Departed, then he wouldn't just like come back and just be like, oh, look at me, I'm gonna buy a bunch of Vengestone, unless he was using it for like something else. That's like a whole other story on its own. I'm getting ideas. That's what I'm
saying. It's like buying a ticket for the lottery. What's the likelihood you're gonna win? But if you win, you're like, oh my gosh, you called it. Blah blah blah. It's just like, that's so, I know, it doesn't make any sense to me either. It's like so out there, like so ridiculous that I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of prediction I come up with. Oh, I feel sad about Nia still. I mean, it's like bittersweet. I don't understand why she needed to sacrifice herself. I mean, that's what the first Master of Water did, but this is like thousands of years later. Isn't there like a different solution they can pick, that they don't have to keep going and repeating the things that happen like over and over in the ancient history? Isn't there like a better solution now that we're in like the future?
It's Ninjago.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I forgot that.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna go on a completely different tangent here.
Yeah.
So, you told me about this book series, and I read it, Well, I read the first book. I didn't read the second book. But you basically told me what happened in the whole thing, so I technically
I spoiled the whole thing because I thought you weren't actually gonna read it.
But then I still read it, and you said you were simplifying the plot, but then I was like, what simplification of the plot?
I didn't tell you about certain characters.
Yeah, but then you didn't mention certain characters. You didn't mention certain events that happened. But then, for the most part, I was like, "What simplification of plot?" Because
okay, well,
yeah. I mean, I already know what's gonna happen in the second book because you already told me.
I told you everything. So I didn't think that. Yeah.
Should I read it just to see how much I can predict?
Yes.
I will do that.
But I already told you what's gonna happen. So how much left is there for you to predict?
That's true.
I wouldn't know because I told you everything I know, so I don't know what I forgot about it.
I know that in the first book you said that. What happened?
Should we say what book it is?
Yes.
It's The Betrothed by Kira Cass.
Yes. She wrote the Selection series. I thought that was a really good series.
That was actually my favorites.
Yeah.
I quote the last book, in Selection, The Crown. I quoted it for a school project. It's like
You did.
Yeah.
You did. You told me about it.
Yeah.
I was gonna do research that series for a school project too, but then it was for a hero's journey thing for English. But then I ended up doing Jurassic Park because I was gonna do How to Train Your Dragon, but it was already taken. And then when the presentations happened, I was just silently thinking,
you could have done this way better.
I could have.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could have.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's like someone else takes the thing and then you can do it way better. But at the same time, you're giving that other person the opportunity to grow their interest of this subject. So you're actually giving them a chance to become. So it's not all that bad.
Yeah.
You're giving them a chance to prove themselves, basically. Anyway, back to the betrothed and the betrayed.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what you're gonna talk about.
There was the scene where she was gonna get the main character. She's gonna get proposed to, and then you said she ends up running away with this other guy that she liked because she found out that she liked him better than the first guy.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect it to be on the same night she was about to get proposed to.
Well, then that means I didn't miss any detail, right?
It's very, very fast paced. But it was also at parts I was it was dragging a lot.
Yeah. No, that's valid. I really like her writing though.
Yeah. I feel it's just, I don't know, my personal preference. I like action. I like fantasy.
See, that's why I didn't think you were gonna like this story, because I really like her writing, because I enjoy that these stories are not just about romantic relationships, but it's about interactions between people in general, and how they're set in always these noble or royal settings, but it's basically a lot about how these people interact with each other, how they make friends, enemies, and also it's not just it's not just a love story, but she also creates a whole world, and there's all these politics and geographical conflicts and things like that between these nations, and how somehow the characters always end up getting involved in those things, despite the fact that against all odds, end up turning the tide of how entire countries are run, and it's all so interlinked so nicely. It's I feel I learn a lot of about how the world in general, for the real world and the world in the series, how it works through her writing. But I realized that's why I was okay, I'm not sure you're gonna like this, because you enjoy books that are more fast paced and have more action. That's why you liked Red Queen.
Oh, I really like that.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I didn't like that one. No, but it was good. It was just very long. For me, that one was dragged out.
A lot of the things, I do agree. You said, she could have done the world building and a lot of the stuff in a novella. explaining the history. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like about the main character's journey and then her discovering her powers, and then like I don't know, like some other stuff happens. There are like a bunch of people with a bunch of cool powers that I was like, yes.
But I still enjoyed it because I did like that. It was kind of cool that they had powers and set in this fantasy setting and stuff like that. These are all good books, by the way. You should go read them.
Yes, go read it.
Now this is our book club, right? But you're talking about how she ran away. Like, it's really fast paced.
Yeah. Like, it was just so, like, I didn't expect her to just suddenly decide, oh, I don't want to be with this guy, I want to be with the other guy. I thought it was gonna, like, there was gonna be more.
You noticed like, that it was building up, though, over the whole book.
Yeah, there was, but then still they met. Wait, how many times did they actually meet? Like 2 times?
More times than Fire Emblem characters before they get married.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because with the king, because she has to, like, I don't know. I mean, he really likes her, but then he just wants her as a trophy wife, so I don't really know how to feel about that.
Well, you know how to feel about that, which is, like, no.
Right? Yeah. Because I don't really know what to feel about romance in general, because I don't
necessarily read it for the romance. I read it because I don't have any social skills, and I find that her... Okay, you know what? Fine, I get a little bit intrigued by the romance, but more importantly, I read her books because I feel like I have no social skills, and I learn social skills from reading about those books, because she doesn't just go into the kind of like the relationships between the characters that might fall in love, but also she has such interesting dynamics between the protagonists and like their best friends or like their parents, for example. And I feel like I learn a lot about people because I isolate myself in my room and just sit by myself all day. And when I read books, it's almost like I get to have that practice. Certain books give me that practice of what it'd be like to meet people. I sound so lonely sometimes. I'm super introverted sometimes, except when I'm doing YouTube, because that's my place where I learn to talk. To actually practical use the talking skills I learned from reading books. Gosh, I sound like such a nerd right now.
It's okay. I mean,
no, I'm owning it because that's a good thing.
That's good. Like, I had a point I was gonna make.
I'm sorry, I must have distracted you from the point.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I was reading some of the books in the Red Queen series, and I found out that the action scenes, the parts where they're talking about the war, where they're fighting in the war, like all the powers are being used, I was like the most immersed in that part, which I guess only further proves your point because I like this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then like the rest, a lot of it was just like a lot of like, I don't know, like world building and stuff.
And I think the thing is, I like world building. I think it's really interesting when an author is able to actually create this entire universe and not only just think it, because that's already one challenge, but also portray it in a story. I just felt like, I guess the only thing complaint that I really had with it was that I felt like some of the world building interfered with the narrative. But other than that, I really appreciate when authors are able to basically use their words to describe an entire place to a reader and make the reader really feel like they're there. So, yeah, I guess I like for that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you really like the action sequences and stuff like that, right? Too, as well.
I love reading about action sequences, unless it's too like overly descriptive with every single movement that every single person is doing, then I would be like, hey, tone it down a bit. But
I don't even know how to do that.
Huh?
I don't even know how to do that. How to over describe an action sequence. I just, in my brain, it's like, okay, they swing their sword. Oh, one of them's dead now. and then I put that on the page, like, shoot, I need more than that.
I mean, like, sometimes you could just write a simple paragraph.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just using my own. I don't know. Like.
Yeah, use your own story because you know it the best.
So here I wrote like, oh, blows were traded and blocked. I described the sounds of like the blades like colliding and how they were like blocking each other's strikes. And one of the characters, she has powers, so then I described the use of powers, but not like, I don't know. I don't know, but I just describe it, how she used it in the spar, and if she got stuck in a situation, how would she use it to get out of that situation. Like, I wrote a later chapter where she's in a pretty bad situation and she's trying to use her powers, but then she's just trying to use it, and then like her thoughts and emotions, characters' thoughts and emotions during the fight, having a little bit of that sprinkles throughout would help. I don't know, that's just my personal opinion because it's worked for me. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but that's how I write. That's how I write fight scenes. I don't try to go too overboard with it, like, and I try not to repeat words. Like, if I say metallic clanging to describe the sound of the blades colliding, I wouldn't use that again in the same paragraph or for like another few paragraphs, just to avoid repetition, because like that could sometimes like take away from the experience. That's how I write fight scenes.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, to credit the books we just talked about, so that was the Betrayed and the Betrothed. Oh, it's the other way around. The Betrothed and the Betrayed by Kira Cass, and Red Queen by, was it Victoria Aveyard? Yeah, okay. Cool. Alright, do we have anything else to talk about? We've been talking for like an hour now.
Only an hour?
Only an hour.
Only an hour.
I know. We could be talking for way longer. But then you're gonna start rambling about
About what? Like
your dream log?
No! We will not talk about the dream log. It's so weird. Some of the stuff that I dream about is actually so weird. I feel like it's because I write a lot, so then my brain's always like exercising like creatively, if that makes any sense. So then even when I'm sleeping, it's like, oh no, we gotta create something super random and weird so that when we wake up we're gonna be super confused, and that usually works most of the time. Oh, remember the cat video you sent me where the cat was like, I don't even know what it jumped up and then like did a backflip and then like
we'll discuss that another time.
Next episode, the cat video.
Yeah.
Would you like me to share the story, or I'll share the story? The story I wrote for that?
Okay, the next episode.
Next episode. The cat video. Oh, we should probably write that down. Anyways. What is this? Practicing my ability to write fight scenes. Oh, okay, that was from like a while ago. Idea based on this.
Are we gonna end the episode now?
I don't know. We could end it now.
Or did you think I already ended it?
I don't know. I mean, if
I think I should hit stop right about now.
Yay.